Well, Rockit is happening again, and I'm looking into the wrong camera. Oh, there you go. Hello, Laptop Nation. My name is Lydia, and I'm your host for the next 15 minutes or so. Right now, I am super electrified actually because I just received an email confirming a project with one of the animators who worked on the Disney films. You know, the Disney films that were classical for the people who were born in the 90s, like me. It's amazing. I'm lost for words, as you can probably tell, and I hope that does not affect the rest of the words that I wanted to share with you. But oh man, this is the possibility of us working together makes my inner child very happy. All right. So back to Rockit. I salute you from the tiny small country of Moldova, but I'm sending you massive positive vibes and positive thoughts because that's what we need, right? That's why we're here. We are creating a moment, actually 2 days of moments. We're creating a vibe of cultivation where we encourage each other and where we help each other become better. And today I'm going to talk to you about one of the key ideas, and this is important. It's something that I learned and which I hoped made me become better in work and in life in general. And this is the laws of giving and receiving. It's in the context of how to sell creative services, but it's a bit more bigger than that. So bear with me because it will all make sense. It all started 3 years ago when I hit the restart button in my career and I went from being staff at an animation studio to being, the free flow, freedom infused freelancer. Scary as hell if you've experienced it, I feel ya. But I guess like for most of us, it felt like a ticket to that ride felt right at the right moment. It felt like the right thing to do, and it was. So I started what is now called the role of the outsourceress. Do not Google it. This is an invented term coined by one of my clients and appropriated by me because I loved that magic vibe it has. And magic, as you know, is basically creating something out of nothing or boosting something to new levels, which seemed impossible before. But hey, as we learn every day here at Rockit, impossible is nothing. It's the kickstart energy that matters. And my kickstart energy at that point 3 years ago was made of two elements. The first element, or the first asset, or resource, better said, was English language, which funnily enough I learned from watching Cartoon Network back in the late 90s when it still wasn't dubbed. So I would hear the native cartoony language with an American accent. And my second element, which became a resource in time, was the amazing pool of talents that I met the years before in Moldova. And not only in Moldova, but also Ukraine and Romania, our neighboring countries. And that gave me that kickstart that made it happen and still makes it happen, really. So I started spending every evenings on Skype calls with Americans. And of course, every single talk would have that geographical intro of, hey, so where is Moldova? And you know what? I loved explaining this over and over again because at some point it helped me bust a myth. And the myth was, because you're from an odd place on the map, you cannot do X, Y, and Z. Well, that is a lie. That's a lie we tell ourselves. That is a lie, or it's an excuse that in order to go big, we got to get something in the first place. We got to be born in the right place, or we got to be part of a big industry, or we got to have properly working laws around us, or we got to join that graduate scheme or hit that amazing internship, which we don't have access to because it's so far away. The reality, though, is what you contribute. What you contribute with and what you contribute to has value. This is what I've learned, is that people fall into two categories: the takers and the givers. And let me give you an example. I will not say names because I still think they're amazing people. But at first, 3 years ago, at the beginning of my journey of outsourcing creative services from the tiny Moldova to the huge US, I gave in to the takers. It was, it was the start of a collaboration, of an amazing collaboration. It was the start of my path. And I happened to stumble upon a very well-known US-based creative studio. What they wanted was our hard work for a tenth of the price. And I felt it was viable and went along with it. The reality, though, is that they were ready and they were going to pay 10 times more for the absolute same quality of work that my talent base delivered. So what did they get? Well, they got the highest skilled people at the lowest price, and that means we got commoditized. They commoditized us. Us talents from like a faraway small pond. They viewed us as low value. And shortly after, even our creative opinions stopped being respected. And I understood that that's what takers do. All they want is to take. The takers exploit. The givers, however, the givers are people who contribute. See this guy? His name is Rob and he can't stop giving. He came to Moldova for the Collider conference a few years ago. He taught me how he works with companies all over the world. He is the one that showed us his value because he wanted more people to contribute. And we did. And not only is that good for us, but Rob is also thriving more by giving. We create more value for Rob. He creates more value for his clients, pays us at the high rate. We maintain healthy business relationships. It's a chain. It's a chain of givers who gain more by working together. And to anchor this more into a very fresh example, I want to share with you and introduce you to something that we are now putting out there in the world, and it's called Biddable. Biddable is not launched yet. There is a team of highly skilled people from California, but also from Chisinau, Moldova, who are getting this digital product ready these days. The motivation of this product to exist was the heavy times we're currently facing. More specifically, the impact these crazy times have on creative studios and agencies who need to adapt, not only to social distancing, but also to creative distancing. I will play this video. It is the Stimulated Ink showreel, partly because I'm proud that we have people in Moldova who are ready to compete at such scale, but also because these were the projects that were done using Biddable, which has now become a bulletproof production tool for sourcing and managing creative work, such as animation, motion, development, and design. Have a look. And we're now giving it to studios in need of sourcing and managing creative work at any scale remotely. It's heavy machinery for heavy times, as we like to call it. That's our way of contributing to something that's bigger than ourselves. And it's our way to help studios, creative agencies, in house creative agencies to fight against something bigger than all of us together. And creative studios and agencies watching this right now, reach out to us because we'll happily walk you through this and hopefully help you fight all the demons that are messing up with your workflow and the process of managing your creative resources. So, the law of giving and receiving works like this. But also, here are 5 bullet points that you need to implement. First of all, ask yourself the question, what am I contributing to? The innovations, the campaigns, the jobs you create. Then think of the last time you were at the losing end of a compromise. Has that created any value for you? Then make a list. Make a list of the standards, your standards, that you will not go below. 4 would be to identify the givers in your client list and to focus on creating beautiful, thriving relationships with them as a priority. I'll tell you a story here. There's this talented frame-by-frame Moldovan animator called, let's call her V, because I'm not sure I can say her name without discussing this with her in advance, which I didn't. So V is a frame-by-frame animator, and if you're from the animation world, you know that portfolios, show reels, they are king when it comes to choosing the right artists. So you think. However, as most talented new artists, V didn't have a showreel. But seeing talent sparking in her, though, one of the US studios I produce work for gave it a go and worked with her on one of the animation shots. For the client, it was slower, it was way less efficient. However, it was an amazing support given to a fresh new artist who now became the go-to animator for that kind of work for that studio. What I mean is people need to be allowed to do that, to learn, to become better, and to be part of your bigger scope. Which brings me to the last point, which is cultivate the law of giving with your people. It will make their work better. Right. To sum up, your list of services is a value list. It's not a spreadsheet of billable hours. To dive into your value conversation and master it more, start by looking up people like James Victori, Chris Doe, Tim Thompson and Joel Pilger from RevThink, Blair Enns, who brings a bold approach to pricing creativity. And please comment and share your similar experiences. And last but not least, I want to salute all the talent around me and thank each artist, as together we're already contributing to something bigger, like biddable. But also, we set up a condition of worth and respect because I know our work has value. That's it, folks. Yours, Lidia.